Hello, guys, and let's continue talking about more nightmares and disasters happening to the Russian aircraft, to the Russian vessels as this holiday season continues. And the long range Ukrainian drones returned once again to Belbek military airbase in the temporarily occupied Crimea to destroy more of their aircraft, this time minus two Su-27. What makes the whole moment even more beautiful, they were fully equipped for the future attacks on the civilian Ukrainian infrastructure. And also, this demonstrates the strategy that we definitely have. A couple of days before, Ukrainian drones destroyed a number of radars, radio location systems on that very same Belbek military airbase and now returned to finish the job. And something similar now is happening in the Third Sea that has become dangerous for the Russian army. First it was Azov and the Black Sea, and now it is also the Caspian Sea. A platform of Lukoil, the third in just a week, was neutralized, and also we targeted Russian patrol ship, which weakens their defense too and means more of evil targets will be neutralized in the coming days, weeks, and months, because here in Ukraine we all understand the only working peace plan is to demilitarize Russia, to defeat it, to expose their weakness, and then to serve the justice. It is also very important. My name is Anna. I'm from Ukraine. I'm in Ukraine, in our brave capital, Kyiv. Subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity and share these videos to spread the truth. Perhaps one of the greatest victories of this war is how quickly and how effectively we managed to destroy Russia's military aviation. The Spiderweb operation alone erased at least one-third of their strategic cruise missile carriers, and that's something that will be studied in the future military trainings. But we also do a lot of important cleaning work literally every month, every week. And Russia has lost a lot of their military aircraft, both because of the Ukrainian drones, now finally Ukrainian missiles, but also their negligence and inability to provide the necessary maintenance. And another serious problem now is the state of their civilian aviation, which may be a good contribution to the future dissolution of the Russian Federation. And stop being afraid of that. That is an inevitable process, just as the collapse of the USSR. So, last night we targeted two Russian aircraft Su-27 on the military airbase in Belbek, that is the temporarily occupied Crimea, that they often use as a platform for attacks on the Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. At the moment of the destruction, one of these aircraft was fully prepared for the future attack, carrying explosives, and this is simply beautiful because it means a lot of innocent lives saved. And I do not understand people who still want to be neutral in this war when it's pretty obvious Russia is the aggressor, Russia is the invader, and justice must be served to all the Kremlin regime. And so minus 2 Su-27. That is a victory. But just days ago, on the 18th of December, if I'm not mistaken, our drones destroyed MiG-31 on that very same airbase, and radio location systems. Radars to Nebo, radars to S-400 systems. So first of all, we literally make Russians bring more and more of their air defense to Crimea and destroy them there close to the Ukrainian front lines. And they keep bringing and we keep burning. But also we destroy a lot of their aircraft that they need to keep there for the future attacks on Ukraine. And have a look, during 1 week, on the very same air base, during different days, we managed to destroy two Su-27 and one MiG-31. What does it tell us about the Russian defense? It is absent. Because once again, Ukrainian drones managed to return to the very same location, literally in a couple of days, and they were not able to protect it. So the strategy is working. Russian defense is weakening. Russian resources are literally absent. When some describe Russia as a country with unlimited human resource, you forget that all of their soldiers agreed to join this criminal military operation because of money. And now dozens of the Russian regions need to cut down to half the payments that they were previously prepared to give to these war criminals joining the Russian army. So, not everything is that perfect as the Kremlin wants you to believe. And there are lots of signs which expose this weakness, including the questions that Putin started receiving during his recent address to the Russian population. For example, why the so called special military operation that was planned as a blitzkrieg now lasts longer, almost longer than the Great Patriotic War. That is the period when Russia broke up with the Nazi regime and joined the rest of the free world fighting in the Second World War. If you want to know more about these questions and answers, do watch my new video on Anna Danilchuk channel. And remember that there is one more dangerous zone now for the Russian vessels and the Russian oil refining industry facilities, and that is the Caspian Sea. That was pretty hidden previously and was difficult to reach, but with each month, with each week, Ukrainian technologies are getting better and better. Another reminder: NATO needs Ukraine, same way as Ukraine needs NATO. So during this week, we targeted three oil and gas mining platforms in the Caspian Sea, canceling the Russian Lukoil even better, a company that was the symbol of Russia's abnormal wealth and now is the symbol of Russia's abnormal poverty and destroyed by this never ending war budget. The situation is very similar to the years before the collapse of the USSR. That's why lots of different nations now oppressed within the Russian Federation are developing their roadmaps and plans on how to act when they get an opportunity to become independent and how to make this process smooth and safe. And I'm convinced that danger is not in the dissolution of this monstrous Russian Federation and their failed USSR to zero project. The danger is in Putin, in Kadyrov, and people like that having control over Russian weapons and so on. But with more failures, with more protests and dissatisfaction inside Russia, I'm sure they don't have a lot of time left. And subscribe to witness that collapse together, because you will need some comments and explanations coming from this part of the world. And sometimes I do feel like a translator from, this like Soviet mindset into the healthy mindset that has never experienced life under Moscow. Trust me, no sane people, no sane former Soviet republics want back. You may ask Ukrainians, you may ask Lithuanians, you may ask other nations that were not the part of the USSR but knew what it is. I'm talking about Poland, I'm talking about Finland, Czechia, and I'm very grateful for your support. I'm very grateful for your understanding. And follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord. The links in the description of this video, same as the link to the merch shop with lots of meaningful, beautiful presents and calendars that can help you remind the world about our fight and the need to defeat Russia. That is the only working peace plan. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channels, and helping me film and work more. That is a blessing. I'm forever grateful. And thank you for being friends of mine and friends of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!